Gozu, please, please, please don't get fried while moving at lightning speed. Gozu, please! What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here from that. Anyone to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, here we are for chapter 250 of Sakamotodays, which is known as Splut. Something about that don't sound right. Something about that sounds a little bit freaky. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's concerning considering the context of Osaragi last, if I'm remembering properly, putting her foot in Gozu's face. But, I don't know. I'm admittedly somewhat, I'm assuming he's still gonna get fried, right? It's still a 2v1. Ultimately, while he was able to isolate Osaragi, it's not like Shishiba is gonna take forever to run in and join her, and Osaragi was already able to tag this lightning speed Gozu while he was overclocked, so... Gozu, your time is getting clocked right now, bro. I think you're probably deep fried. But let's not waste more time. Let's hop right in chapter 250 of Sakamotodays, which is known as Splut. Alright. That is a very, sizable hole, though, that he put in just by simply slamming her through it. Like, the force, he had to, think about this. In order to bury her through this, and then shatter all that, the impact, the shockwave of her body hitting the concrete must have been so much to do all that. And then somehow she just ate the wall ate that, though. Well, presumably a lot of force was lost, though, once she slammed through the initial layer of concrete. Let's see. Plip. And Osaragi just... You know what? I'll give credit to Osaragi. One of the most consistently aura farming characters. However, I must also say this about Osaragi. It's the fact that it kind of been, in my subconscious that I hadn't really acknowledged, but as people have consistently pointed it out, I now must acknowledge it directly. Osaragi doesn't really have a fight against anyone notable in a 1v1. She usually fights bums and kids. Ultimately when I think about Osaragi, she doesn't really have a Nagamo versus Gaku or a Nagamo versus Oki. She doesn't really have a Shishiba versus Yotsumura. She doesn't even really have a Kumanomi versus Hyo kind of thing. And thanks, guy. She doesn't really have a Shin versus Tenkyu, right? Like an individual fight. Even a Haruma versus Shin, ironically enough. Palmer technically won that fight. Or Haruma technically won that fight. But she doesn't really have that. When I think of Osaragi battles, I think of her against Dump, I think is the woman's name, from the International Criminals. I think it was Criminals, not Assassins. International Criminals arc. And I remember I said International Assassins. People were like, Pencil, you reading Chainsaw Man right now? You don't have to fry me like that. I did deserve to be fried like that. I don't know how I got that mixed up. But regardless, if I'm not mistaken, it is something like that. It was the international, it was Death Row inmates or something like that. That's her major defining fight. Because otherwise she fought the nameless, whatchamacallit, the geisha woman, I think is what that lady was called, with the umbrella. It still was a cool panel, but that was the nameless fodder that was just chilling with Yotsumura. It wasn't actually a named combatant of any decent caliber as far as we know. And then she fought the kids. I know Shin's not a kid, he's a full-grown adult, and he was there. But and so it's Natsuki as well. But still, regardless, okay, congratulations. You beat up some kids. It's not, she doesn't really have that. And even her quote unquote bigger battles, it's usually jump fest. Even against Gozu, it was kind of a jump fest. Or is a jump fest right now. So is Osaragi gonna end the whole series without actually getting a battle against a decent opponent? Maybe, because I'm not sure who else Osaragi has left. That's the only issue with Torres being taken out of the plot by Sakamoto specifically. Dog, who does she have left to fight? Let's see. Flip. Osaragi war farming. Oh. Alright. You just gonna rob this guy? Hey! Dog, what is that? But bottle. Fresh and healthy milk. Hey, anything to get strong bones. Everyone's like, Pencil, why do you still drink so much milk as a full-grown adult man? Because I like my bones strong and healthy. Couldn't you just take calcium supplements? Absolutely. No, I won't. I'll just keep drinking the cow juice. So shout out to Gozu for being a certified, licensed, and registered milk drinker. He just like me, for real, twin. Admittedly, I'll say this. As a certified, licensed, and registered milk drinker, am I ever really pouring a cup of milk because I'm feeling parched and I just want to refresh myself? Not really. That's not in my vernacular, big dog. That's not in my life pattern, if you will. No, I will not just randomly go to the fridge and pop it open, pull out the gallon, and pour it just to drink a cup of milk. If I'm parched, I'm drinking water, right? That's typically what it is. And if I'm eating something savory, I'm usually drinking like strawberry lemonade. I'm going to try to switch over to seltzer so I can get those calories down to nothing. But if I'm ever eating a pastry, some little sweet treat, the first thing I'm going for is the Milky Wilky, bro. It'll take a 10 out of 10 cinnamon bun to a 15 out of 5. That's how a nice cool cup of milk, bro. It'll raise it levels. But obviously, Gozu's just goated because he's a certified legendary licensed milk drinker, just like your boy, for real, for real. And you'd be like, well, Pencil, if you've just admitted that you don't go for refreshment, what do you mean you're a certified licensed milk drinker? Even after I finish a pastry, sometimes, if I'm still feeling a little bit, I want a little bit extra liquid, and I don't feel like cleaning out the cup to get water in it and not have that weird, like, I don't know if you ever drink, like, water in a cup that's had milk in it afterwards, it's kind of nasty. As much as I love milk and as much as I love water, like mixing milk and water together, it does not taste good. It's weird. So sometimes I will just pour the cup up with milk, take a whole shot of milk straight to the, not a whole shot, like a whole cup of milk straight to the dome, and then I'll keep pushing. So I am also a certified licensed milk drinker. Milk Brothers, Milkman, milk people rise up. Well, let's see. But I feel bad that he's robbing him. I wonder if he's going to close the door. Oh, that's why I know he's truly evil. I don't see him close the door. You fiend, Gozu, you fiend! I thought you were licensed. Let's see. Oh, and Osaragi's just standing by legs. You know, though, like, ultimately, I guess it is best for her to just, like, disengage until Shishiba arrives. Like, she doesn't really have a reason to 1v1 Gozu. But it is funny just to see her, like, are you seriously drinking milk right now? No pastry, no sweet treat? Just a raw bottle of milk. Let's see. Man, look at the like. Honestly, there are many different characters who I want the build of. Gozu got a nice build though. Gozu really like that. Gozu really like, he clean with it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So she did. So she essentially let him put himself. She let him put himself in a worse physical scenario. So the second he has one hand taken up by the milk, she lunges in, and this is a really cool perspective shot too, to see through like essentially we're kind of low key, unironically, we're kind of in Gozu's mouth. Yo, Gozu gobbled us up, dog. Because technically we're in his mouth right now, as we see the milk drain and Osaragi swinging her weapon at Gozu. But Gozu does manage to intercept it. Did he finish the milk though? He did not finish. Code red. It does not look like he finished the milk. The milk container was split in half though, but he does catch it in both hands too. So he is able to still react to Osaragi. That kick was seemingly because, or the kick from last chapter seemingly landed because Gozu was off guard. While he's still seemingly in this overclock state, he is able to react to Osaragi. All right, next page. Ah, okay. And that's smart too. He uses those are actually, thinking about it though, those are some really good claws, because it looks like he legit, like, there's a fan right there. I don't know about y'all. Have y'all ever like turned the fan off and then if you want to stop it really, really quick, you'll just put your hand up there and catch it? That's essentially what Gozu did with a literal chainsaw. A chainsaw that we've seen take a whole bunch of hits and cut through a whole variety of different things, people and buildings included. And Gozu's claws don't even seem to, like, they don't spark that much or even scratch. They're just able to catch and like drag the chainsaw to a stop. Very, very impressive feat for the Gozu claws. One of the best weapons in the series already. Let's see. You need a higher RPM, rotations per minute. I mean, technically so. Is he actually gonna? Interesting to see him puff out his cheek here as he swings for this punch. But maybe this is part of the whole overclocking thing. And actually, now I look at it, interesting. It looks like he's like flickering. In fact, I almost want to go to the previous chapter. I think I will. Hold on, let me see something. When he overclocks, does his hair stand up? Is that meant to be the indication of him overclocking? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, it's down here. Oh no, it's down here. All right, maybe it's a new thing that Suzuki's doing. I think that's cool though, because it looks like here in every instance where he's overclocking, or maybe, well, to be fair, I don't see any electricity. But note here, his hair is down. I mean, obviously, it still naturally spikes up for the top part, but the hair over his face is down. But then, in this instant, it looks like his hair rises up. And you could say maybe he's just throwing his head forward. But I like to think it's him sparking up. And then he sparks up, catches the chainsaw, slows it down, reels back. His hair's down here, up, says his hair's down here. He says you need a higher RPM. He then sparks up again and then swings on Osaragi. Or at least that's how I want to interpret it. Maybe it is just, motion of the body moving. I don't have, if you couldn't tell, me and hair aren't in like the most cordial relationship, so I don't know what the physics are for hair consistently moving and whether or not it will go up like that. Let's see. All right, so okay. So Gozu was actually, and look at that. This is like some of the most damage we've seen Osaragi take in the entire series. That was just from one punch. Sorry, but you can see that like her face, it looks like she's bleeding from her eyes. Her nose is bloody. Like okay, Osaragi. Boom, through a whole nother wall too. All right. Click right. Okay, Osaragi's looking down the. Ladies and gentlemen. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I should not have gotten on the Tenkyu fans for being delusional. Thinking he was maybe Tenkyu is gonna come back. Maybe Shin's gonna have to 2v1 Tanabata, a character he barely knows, and also Tenkyu. Because look who it is! Is she gonna get a name? Is she gonna get a name? But look who it is! I could have sworn since I entirely forgot about this character since they hadn't appeared just yet. But look at me being impatient. Alright. This is genuinely a case where I should have just shut up, sat back, and trusted Suzuki Sensei's pen. This character actually is relevant. I mean, like, presumably, she's probably going to be about as relevant as El Matador and the cop guy, as in, like, a temporary obstacle that won't even get a name. But still, she's here. I genuinely, truly thought she was just entirely forgotten about. Like, notably, every time I did a villain lineup, I kind of excluded her when I was talking about, well, we don't really have as many antagonists for Richard Kess to fight. But this is, and you know what? If this is Osaragi's one-on-one fight, I mean, if she doesn't get a name, that's going to be rough. But technically, this would be the one-on-one fight Osaragi needs to, she's not on Fraud Watch or anything, but to get an actual 1v1 against seemingly a recognizable or respected assassin in top tier rather than, some random kids. And I feel bad for calling Natsuki and crew some random kids. And also, it was my Fuyu, Natsuki, and who am I thinking of? I think Tomomaru was also involved in that battle, and Shin was also there. But if this is the case, she may actually get a battle against actual, maybe not top tier. Because once again, it seems like all these side characters, except for maybe Kipe. Kipe actually seems to be good with the sauce. But outside of Kipe, an actual relevant character. Osaragi may actually get the 1v1s, or maybe the 2v1s if the baby's actually good like that. Let's see. Hold on. She's a mother. She's not a grandmother. Let me see. At least I think she's a mother. Well, it could be a grandmother. I'll stick with it. Little one. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna give it a more like generic motherly voice because we do have what's her name, the doctor that was in the Lu fight. And while I haven't used, well, I'll see. I'll judge from here. Let's see. There, little one. That's a good boy. All right, so it's a boy. Let's see. Time to go night. Oh. I don't know, like, I want kids. I mean, I can't make them myself. and I always say this. People ask me how many kids I want to have. I always say, however many my wife wants to have, because I'm not giving birth. I don't do all that. I don't get pregnant. So, I do want kids. And I am ever lucky enough to have kids. I know the baby phase is rough, but man, I want to go through it, dog. I want to go through it. But who knows? That may just be the biological need to continue the human race speaking and not actually my own opinions, but I don't know. I feel like it is me. I feel like it is genuinely me. I was like, time to go night. Osaragi's like, baby? Random woman? What's happening right now? Where? She's probably like, also, where's Gozu? Man, threw me through a whole building. I was like, that's enough. Let's see. There. Don't cry. Oh, you precious little thing. Didn't we already slaughter plenty of people today? Oh my! Why? Y'all had one job, and that was to jump the Sakamoto crew. Who are you slaughtering in mass? Lady who needs a name, please don't give her a name. Please, don't let this be another gay show open where like the role is just mother. Though I guess it's interesting the parallel, especially since Osaragi's constantly in a veil, which typically has like wedding symbolism and imagery, and obviously people ship Shishiba and Osaragi. It's not surprising, but Osaragi in a wedding veil going up against a mother is an interesting way to play on it. It's a very interesting way to play on it. But I do hope this one at least gets a name. Doesn't end up like, you know, Yutsumoto's side piece. That's exactly what she was. I was like, didn't we already slaughter plenty of people today? You sure? Osaragi's like, we? Are you? I'm not sure what we is in Japanese. But like, are you speaking French? What do you mean we? I was like, you sure love blood, don't you? Now, who did you get that from? Well, presumably the mama. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know who the daddy is, but probably you. Probably if I had to hazard a guess. I will admit, I love the detail on this hand here. I love the detail on the dress and the vein popping out and the cross out. Very, very good stuff. So he's Sensei. In fact, so far all the art in this chapter has been on point. I made and in fact, this is a full-length chapter. Just look, this is 22 pages, which means it's like 20 pages. I did point out last review how it seems like Suzuki Sensei would struggle a little bit with the art last chapter, but that last chapter was also short. And then Sakamoto Days was on break last week, so it seems like Suzuki Sensei did have time to lock in. Because so far, there's not been a single artistic complaint in this chapter. All the art looks immaculate. And this hand is another fantastic example. Even the cleaver details look immaculate too. Let's see. Now, who did you get that from? Darn. Wait. Okay, this is okay. Unironically, is the funniest thing that's happened in Sakamoto Days in like years, bro. Oh, sweet mother of mercy, why do you blink, bro? The fact that it's like appropriately sized, it's not gargantuan in his hands. That is a custom baby. Man, forget the binky. He got the sticky, bro. Bro don't need no pacifier. He got it in his hands. He said, I call it, he don't need no silencer. He is the silencer. He's got it, bro. And he actually lands the shot on Osaragi for the free. Yo, Osaragi. I think we have to start making calls. I mean, to be fair, and the baby pulled out of straight nowhere too. Where did was it? Is this meant to be it? Like where did this thing even come from? But regardless, Osaragi, you real? I mean, to be fair, she was obviously focused on the woman. This is like a multi-layered fake out, right? Like she was presumably Osaragi was paying attention to the cleaver and the tight grip in the woman's hands and wasn't expecting the baby to straight up it on her. Osaragi, I may have to make calls, dog. What do you mean you got tagged? You got bland. Like I see those right. You got bland by a baby, and you're all gonna be like, Pencil Man, you acting like you want to get one tap by this baby in the shock horror of it up and stick on you. I know, but I'm not Osaragi. I'm not top tier assassin lady who only fights kids and bombs. I'm kidding. Let's see. No, kids, bombs, and nameless randoms. Dump had a name though. Still not top tier. Let's see. Blam. No words either. Just like Osaragi just in her head, like, did I seriously just get shot by a baby? Yeah, I'd have the exact same like. Me? I let that happen? Of all things. Let's see. Such pretty hair. Oh, wait. Yo. Wait, you left the baby in the stroller well, I guess maybe it'll be fine. It's got Blake. But that's yo. You want to talk about crazy kind of two-man setup, dog. Having the baby set up the distance pressure while you come in with the close range hair snatch into decap, bro. I mean, obviously it's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna get those right, but still, great, crazy combo. Good use of the assist. I see you. Such pretty hair. Ah, to be young again. I'm not gonna lie, the lady, you don't look. Well, to be fair, she is covering a lot of her facial features, but I don't think you look old. You look normal age. Let's see. Ah, to be young again. Osaragi with the calm little Blake. Yo. Genuine baby Blake upscale, bro. Osaragi, unable to fully dodge the shot. Also, Osaragi blitzing the woman who got behind her and snatched her hair out. I see you. Let's see. Weave of doom. Oh, interesting. But she keeps the all right. So she keeps the pressure on. Oh, and she got motion. Okay. She's moving though. She's moving. Please. To be fair though, I won't press for a name in this chapter because Well, we had the twins' names, the Sasagagi twins, I believe. I forget what the twins' names are called. And I even forget the girl's name now. I'm so focused on Kipe. But Kipe didn't get a name for a while. In fact, like one of the last interactions we saw with Kipe was us actually getting his name. So this woman may have a chapter. If this is meant to be Osaragi's final fight, this woman may actually have a couple chapters before we actually get her name. I just hope she does actually get a name, unlike El Matador, which I just have to keep calling him because he never got a name, and the cop guy, who I just got to call that because he never got a name. But let's see. Slash weave. Okay. Combo. So Osaragi on weave game prime, even if this woman is keeping up with her. Okay, Osaragi swings, but the woman got an immaculate weave game too. Okay, I see you. And notably, I like the different ways that they're dodging. Right, we see Osaragi consistently. She goes low, like specifically here. She gets her hair grabbed, so she slips out, ducks down. The woman puts pressure on her, so she goes in, swings at Osaragi's face. Osaragi, instead of leaping it, ducks under. Osaragi then goes for seemingly a body shot. She pivots off the ground, goes in for a body shot with the left, essentially tries to swing through. I mean, you should be able to see her hammer in her saw in the shot, but it's fine. But swings through. Actually, no, maybe she lost her hammer. Or not her. Why do you keep saying hammer? I'm thinking of Shishiba. But like, I don't actually see her saw in hand here. Does she have it? Does she have her saw here? She had her saw back there. Does she not have her saw? She may not have her saw anymore. So she goes in for... Yeah, I don't think she has her saw anymore. So she goes in for a straight punch. And then the woman just straight leaps over it. So she goes high while Osaragi goes low. Oh! Hey, keep it... You're getting fried, aren't you? Yo, that's crazy. I mean, like, I feel like it should be... If anything, it should be... Whoa. Well, okay, buddy. I hate to say it. You got what you deserve. Women and children should be Really? Really, dude? During National Women's Month? I hate to say you deserved it. You deserved it. You deserved it. Oh, and then Gozu coming with the combos? Okay. I really got Gengo Osaragi though. That's crazy. But that aside, shouldn't this be like the opposite? Like shouldn't the body be turned but the head be in the same spot? Well, I guess. Well, I feel like if anything, they should be the same. Is this how that would work? Well, to be fair, there may be, in fact, it may be how she swung the cleaver, right? Because that wasn't Osaragi. So I'm assuming that's how she swung the cleaver, right? Like, she may have had, like, a twist in her wrist, like that, and then that caused the head to turn in the midst of the slash. Admittedly, this text bubble should be coming from down here. Because, like, that doesn't have a mouth. I was like, drip! But still, the art in this chapter is fantastic, too. Oh, look at this. Okay, lunge in. This looks a little, but like once again, I'm so like now that I've noticed that the art has been so good this chapter, I'm like super nitpicky. So no, the art like Suzuki is just on one this chapter. It's immaculate. Even the pattern work is so unique. Like I can't even tell if this is like a pattern. Like realistically with either of these, I'm not sure if this is a brush that is being used to just fill in, or if these are like individually drawn pieces of the pattern because it's just that well done. Typically, you can tell in a manga when like just a paintbrush is used to fill a pattern. It's usually when they don't like overlap or align with the rest of the body that the clothing is conformed to. But these seem to work. Oh, maybe this one. This one maybe looks like it's possibly a brush. In fact, does it line up perfectly with the previous? Maybe. But it's hard to tell if Osaragi's is a brush as well. Yeah, no, this seems like it may be a brush, just of different sizes. But that aside, I wish I had it. I saw Shishiba dip Gozu. But this actually is crazy combo work. So the lady lunges through, puts pressure on Osaragi. Gozu comes in from behind to keep the pressure on, seemingly about to pierce her Osaragi in the back with a lightning spike, which would have gone crazy. And once again, you can see his hair spiked up as he seems to be overclocking. So I don't know. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with now a new rule that if Gozu's overclocking or not. Straight pencil head canon, I will admit. But new rule, if Gozu's overclocking, his hair will fully stand up, including the hair on his face. And then Osaragi goes, oh, I'm about to be fried by a named character and a nameless character. Am I really on a fraud? Osarigi's thinking, am I really a fraud? Luckily enough, Shishiba saved you from Fraud Watch. Man, and you want to talk about some perfect interception, too. Especially in the midst of... Ooh, he actually drew blood there, too. In the midst of Gozu overclocking, for Shishiba to be able to read the environment well enough to hard tackle through and perfectly intercept Gozu. Calm Shishiba upscale. He's really considering, like... Think of it. Shishiba had to... Wait, Osaragi. Like, he was nowhere nearby. And then he had to run all the way over here after Gozu specifically blitzed Osaragi into this building. So, Shishiba... Fantastic environmental awareness check, or ability to check the environment that he's in, and fantastic pressure to put on Gozu, enough to make him bleed immediately on first hit. Nice stuff. Good work, Shishiba. Good work. Let's see. Boom. Ooh, and this is a gorgeous panel too. Osaragi, and I like this detail too. Osaragi, even in the midst of being like, oh, I'm about to be fried, she's still, you can tell she's still like leaning and going, like she's going in for like a twist, like she was gonna try and meet Gozu's hit here, right? Gozu's gonna open palmer with his right. Osaragi, it looks like she was straight gripping up and swinging in. She was getting ready for a counterattack, even if she was about to get hit anyway. So Osaragi still good with this also a little bit. Let's see. Gozu, you can't keep getting fried by Shishiba, bro. I know you can't low diff him because he didn't fight Takazuki before. And I saw that. I saw someone try to say, oh, well, Gozu's above Shishiba. Shishiba should stand no chance. Gozu low diff Shishiba. Shishiba had just fought Takazuki. What are we talking about? Of course Gozu doesn't actually skill to Shishiba, because he caught him off guard. And also, you know, Shishiba wasn't prepared for the whole electricity thing. So you can still definitely give it to Gozu as a dub. It's like one of Gozu's only dubs in the narrative. We gotta give him something. That and Kandaka. But still, I'm not surprised that Shishiba's able to keep up with Gozu, considering this is a mostly full health Shishiba. But obviously he's still taking some damage. Let's see. Sorry I'm late. Yeah. Aw. That's adorable. Just grabs her up by her chin. But and like, I don't know. I've seen this more read as romantically, but I've also seen that done with couples too. The straight, you good? You get like reading the damage she's taken so far. What? No lethal wounds? Alright. I'll handle Mr. Lightning. Never let go of your weapon again. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, that's nice. That's sweet. I didn't even see him in hand, and you can't see his hands in that until this point. That's right. He just drops her weapon behind. You would think Gozu would have thrown that thing away. Maybe he did, and then Shishiba saw it on the way here. But he's worried for her because he's without her weapon. Checks on her, makes sure there's no lethal injuries, and immediately goes right into keeping up with Gozu, considering that will make it a 1v1 again. And this was initially supposed to be a 1v1, right? Shishiba and Gozu were supposed to have a proper 1v1 as a rematch for their initial encounter post the Takazuki fight. Meanwhile, Osaragi, she's gonna be. I hope this lady gets a name and some sort of like statement scaling, because right now, Osaragi, you're not beating the fighting nameless bums allegations. And even to be shaved by Shishiba allegation, you're not beating him. You're not beating him. I don't care how adorable this is. You're not beating him. Let's see. Oh no, Mr. Lightning. Never let go of your weapon again. And that is true. Shishiba is also meant to be like her trainer. He is her overseer essentially, even as they are both order members. He was the one who found her after all. Let's see. Simp. All right, and he lands gently. Shishiba. That's your name, right? You're gonna fight me alone? How do you not know his name? Well, to be fair, that's the thing. Like, the new order kind of lasted for 5 seconds, bro. Like, they barely had any time to actually genuinely interact with each other, so it makes sense that they don't really know each other that well. Let's see. That's your name, right? You gonna fight me alone? That should be more than enough. I mean, Gozu. He was kind of like, even before Osaragi jumped in, he was kind of giving you that work. I know you can overclock and stuff, buddy, but I wouldn't like you ain't got the best track record, dog. Let's see. You're afraid of that circular saw girl. You're afraid that circular saw girl's gonna get beat again? Dude. I don't know if you think I'm stupid, Gozu, but that was by Takazuki, who's not here right now. Not at all. Brody. You are not like Gozu. I love your design, man. But I love your design, man. You are not Takazuki. Maybe in a like obviously in 2v1, Osaragi was feeling the pressure, but even then she was still somewhat keeping up. Gozu, you're not that guy. Let's see. Huh? You can't be an assassin if you're afraid of your friends being slaughtered. Tonk. It is interesting that the hammer makes a sound effect even though it just chips against the shoulder. Let's see. So then why are you fighting alone when you stand no chance? You forget that I have slaughtered you? This is the exact same logic that Commodore was making. But once again, I will not let this go. And maybe she's just gonna bring it up. He had just fought Takazuki. Of course he was a bit fatigued. And also, lightning stuff he wasn't ready for. Let's see. In other words, you failed to kill me. That's pretty third rate, buddy. Yo! There is no great... I don't know what... when was the last time I used buddy genuinely? It may be straight now. Like, at least not no time I remember. Whenever, if someone ever calls you or you ever call someone buddy, expect it to be taken, like they have to be young. They have to be young. Like, it's alright, buddy. Like that's fine. Like, if I think maybe that's it. It must have been, like, dealing with some kid, one of the kids I'm related to. But outside of that, I'm never saying buddy, genuinely. It's always like, nice work, buddy. You'll get him next time, buddy. good work, pal. Like buddy, pal, even just like saying friend, ironically, is the grade A top tier rage band. And it's funny to see Shishiba engaging with it. In other words, you failed to kill me. That's pretty third rate, buddy. In our world, that's an embarrassment you don't bring up. That's true. That's true. And Osaragi, and once again, funnily enough, that Gozu was clowning on Osaragi, he was literally one-tapped by Osaragi. Of course, he wasn't actually like knocked out, but he didn't get up and chase and finish executing Osaragi, who was already heavily damaged, or Kamihate, who was relatively damaged, or Shishiba, who was heavily damaged by Takazuki, and then himself. So yeah, Gozu, he has the right to be frying you. Let's see. You're dead, mate. Ah, Gozu. I wish that were true, but unfortunately, in this narrative economy, let's say, Shishiba's got a lot more weight to throw around than you do. I'm talking massive, hefty amounts of weight to throw around that you don't have. Let's see, you don't have to say that. You'll just look pathetic when you fail again. Shishiba, fry him up then, batter him up and cook him then. Batter him up and cook him then. Let's see. And just look pathetic when you fail again, and he's going to. Unfortunately, this was in fact a factual statement by Shishiba. He will look pathetic when he fails again. Let's see. Oh, chalk. Interesting. Is he like sharpening it against the ground? That red blood really stands out against your white skin. Why you could just say it against your skin? Why? Well, I guess like the color contrast. Interesting that Osaragi. I mean, I guess I don't know, because she's from the countryside, right? Interesting that she's pale. I guess she does like consistently cover up and wear all black, but like black attracts sunlight. So I don't know. Interesting that she is pale. And notably, I think she's even pale in all the colorings too. So yeah, let's see. That red blood really stands out against your white skin. But you won't be young forever. Do you have a good man in your life? Shishiba. So yes. Let's see. Don't wait too long to have children. Oh, but like not all women want to have kids, and that's the thing that I 100% respect. I haven't and never will experience being pregnant. Nothing about it sounds pleasant. Like even the easiest pregnancies I've ever heard of still don't sound fun. Even the easiest bursts that like last 2 seconds, it still doesn't sound fun. Like nothing about that sounds fun. So I do not blame. Like I know multiple women are like, yeah, I'm not doing that child thing. Bloodline. In the case of the only children, like bloodline ends with me, or they're like, I'm gonna be the cool aunt. Like that's all again. And hey, probably fine with that. Birth, any of that, none of that sounds pleasant. And also, I don't want to have kids, so she can wait as long as she wants if she ever wants to have them. And also, she doesn't need to have them at all. Although I was just confused, like, huh? How do we get to kids? How do we get to kids? No, your baby's there with a blick. Let's see. Huh? Oh, see. There. Isn't he darling? Children are such a joy. No, I do agree with that. Admittedly, kids do get on your nerves sometimes, but I still think it's so cool to see little humans. Like, especially as a guy who was a former little human, it's very interesting just to see the progression. Like, I look at my little brother all the time, and I'm like, man, I remember when you popped out on Mama. Like it's so crazy to think of like the continuation and just the evolution and development. That is just a cool thing to see. And obviously, you don't need kids to see that. You always consistently go through evolution and change over time anyway. But I also do like the idea of just consistent. Like I think kids are neat. Let's just say that. I think kids are really, really cool, and I want to have some someday. If I'm lucky enough, though. If I'm lucky enough, because obviously, it's not going to do it myself. Let's see. Isn't he darling? Children are such a joy. They make life meaningful. There's no great fulfillment for women than raising children. That's just wrong, though. That's just wrong. I never got... Like you want to know... I remember... No, I don't even read comics that consistently. And you're like, aren't you reviewing a manga right now? And by comics, I mean American comics. But there was, like, one... There's one, like, Wonder Woman thing that came out. It said the greatest journey of Diana's life, being a mother, or like the greatest struggle or challenge or adversity of Diana's. I was like, Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, greatest fulfillment or joy or whatever adversary, hardest challenge ever, having children or raising children. Same woman who's boxed Darkseid. Superman. Actual God of War, Ares, and more. But children, though. That's right. Like, hey, once again, look at a guy who does want kids. And kids are awesome and cool, and also knows that it'll probably be very difficult raising them, depending if they're anything like their father. But, still, I don't get that. And obviously, you know, conservatism and stuff like that, that's, yeah, that's probably what this one represents. But, anyway, the whole thing of, like, being jealous or talking about, like, you won't be young forever and stuff like that, it's very clear this woman is spiteful. But, there are people who genuinely believe that. There's no greater fulfillment for women than raising children. That's not true. Very not true. We'll see. Food! I don't need another little me in the world. That's creepy. And you know, funnily enough, people have asked me, hey, would you name your kid Pencil Jr.? No. No. Never. And not to discount any of people who are named after their fathers or mothers or anything like that. And heck, wouldn't be shocked if one of my kids' names is a play on their grandparents' names or something like that, or they just flat out have one of their grandparents' names in their name, if I'm lucky enough. But I never really got the idea of like, oh yeah, my child is another living me. Like, obviously they may occasionally look like me. They may end up looking exactly like me. Heck, like I said, I am just a male version of my mother. Like, you look at us side by side and like, oh yeah, that could genuinely be your sister, and it's literally just my mom. I look exactly like her. So there are cases where you do literally produce a miniature copy of yourself. But even still, I'm fundamentally different from my mother. I must joke about me literally being half her. Because not even joke, it's just factual. But I mean in like a more literal sense, literally being half her. And with that being the case, I get Osaragi. Because a big thing about Osaragi's character, and something I even misinterpreted, I forget what fight that I made that misinterpretation about Osaragi's character, and like I simplified her down a whole lot, and I do still regret that because that was a big mistake. Is that Osaragi doesn't like herself. She doesn't view what she is as like a natural or good thing in the world, but she does it, and she follows Shishiba because Shishiba is that sort of like guiding light to give, quote unquote, what she views herself as a monster, like her purpose, in a positive way, and to do things by a certain structure and rules and guidelines so she can do it properly. And I don't blame her for like looking at what the world has to offer me, like, or no, looking at what she has to offer the world and be like, I do not want to produce another me. Like, heaven forbid I do that. And that's up to her, and I'm glad that she's made that choice for herself. We'll see. Creepy. Is that so? Somebody tells me that didn't go over well. You're the creepy one. A good-for-nothing who can't get a real job. That's why you're living this. What are you doing? What is your real job? Let's see. That's why you're living this life. There's something wrong with an adult who doesn't love children. It's nothing to be proud of. Now, like, I do love well, to be fair, I'm not even rude. Some of the kids, no. Like, is there any kid that I'm directly related to that I don't love? Not really. Like, there are levels to it, obviously. Like, they're only kids that I'm directly related to that I've seen, like, once or twice in my life. I don't love them as much as the kids I see, like, every other week. But still, I still think it's fine. I know multiple adults who just don't like kids. That's fine. I don't blame them. That kid's gonna mind her sometimes, and I love them. So, no, still wrong. Let's see. You think you're so great just because you're young with white skin? Yeah, why focus on the white skin? It'd be one thing if she was, like, clear skin. Let's see. You ugly cow! Shut up, you little brat! Okay. Yeah. Okay, the baby is the funniest thing Sakamoto that is his forever dog. What? From it upping Blink earlier to immediately go, hush. It's immediately went, not everything requires a reaction. This baby's hilarious. But yeah, obviously this woman, she's projecting, and she doesn't like the life choices she's made, so she's projecting on Osaragi. Alright, interesting. Give her a name. Let's see. What was it again? Huh? An expression Mr. Shishiba taught me recently. Something like, kid who lost the parent auction. Okay, that's funny. Lost the parent lottery. Oh, right. Now I remember. You didn't remember. I told you again. I love these two. Time to go night-night, you naughty little thing. Unironically, like, and notably, I really like the Nagamo versus Oki chapters. This is that good old classic. And you may be like, well, what? Because hype moments and are good. Also, no, not just the hype moments in Aura, though the hype moments in Aura are good. You know, I love me some good hype moments in Aura. But everything in this chapter. The art was immaculate all the way throughout. They're literally, like, the one time, if I'm squinting super duper hard and being, like, so unrealistically critical, especially as a guy who doesn't make weekly manga. Where is it? Where is it? Like this panel, kind of, because of the the non-firmness of the line art on the hair and something about like the shakiness of this glasses line art. I'm not like who am I feeling like if I'm actually like really like, oh, I need a knock point. No, this is a 10 chapter. From the characterization for Osaragi, from her fighting style to how she reacts, to Gozu's characterization as a fellow top-tier prime milk drinker. Even if I do believe Gozu's wrong in a lot of the stuff he says in this chapter, it still is funny, and it still does fit Gozu's character really, really well. Even this woman, who, once again, her simply appearing, her and this baby simply showing up, not on my bingo card at all. I genuinely thought we were never going to see these characters again. So I legit thought Suzuki forgot. So that's cool for her to show up at all. The baby upping Blick. That was like the chapter. Like, that was the first genuine laugh I've had at Sakamoto days in a while. And like laughing at it when I think it's meant to, like, it's trying to be funny. Not laughing at it as in like, oh Lord, Suzuki, what are you doing? But so that's just really, really good. And while I do think the woman is wrong, I think her characterization is very clear and very understandable. She was crazy. And Shishiba was fantastic in this chapter. Osaragi's fantastic in this chapter, and she barely speaks in it. Like, overall, this is just a fantastic chapter. Banger. 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 In fact, if you made it all the way through this video, please leave bangers no mash. I think I've done that before. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. No, what's a good one? Back to Peak. We'll go with Back to Peak. I don't think I've done that one yet. We'll go Back to Peak. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave Back to Peak in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that leave notifications so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, we're going to have a Patreon below. You support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include completely unedited versions of Sakamoto Days. If you're wondering why the image is flipped and a little bit zoomed in on, it's literally just because Sakamoto Days kind of gets like attacked on the channel whenever I post it, completely unedited. But patrons members get completely normal versions of Sakamoto Days reviews, so they get that on top of their name at the end of literally every single video. If you're a $3 member or $3 patron or higher, you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video as well. On top of that, I also get early access to not just all videos for the main channel, but all videos for the second channel that got the reaction. Link in the description down below, along with being in the upper. I always mess this up. In the upper right side of the screen. Well, actually, with this flipped, I guess it would it be this way? I'm not sure how. Like, once again, I'm recording this normally, so I'm not sure how it's gonna look. Or regardless, in the upper right hand part of the screen. And on top of that, I do a link to my Twitch that got the controller in the description down below. I stream every Friday, 8 p.m. EST. If you want to talk about literally anything, roll through there. We have a fun, wonderful time talking about that. And on top of that, I do have my Ko-Fi down below. If you want to drop 5 views or short video, 20 views long video, or any beans at all, any support is always greatly appreciated. And I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, riding off. Alright, lady, well, thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, J2MA, Bura Ura, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Dino, Tim Thomas, Kaving, OrXN, Logan Guzman, Dead Meme, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntosh, PNA DNA, Edwin Ingbinorba, Straw, Antavius Mitchell, Superflame Zero, Weary Exile, Window Life, Alex Kenny, Todd, The Practical One, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Jagoda, Plant Crone, Striker Man, Brendan Payne, Black Sage, Multi-Batman Superman, Zalims, Joe B, Sleepin' John, The Young Family Pastel Pandora, Mo City King DKG, Andream Bonnet, John Malcolm, Akolade Babatunde, ASD1234, Jesse Clapp, CCC, Romano Furin, Sky XT, Victor Jacobs, Axis XC, Osin Tabwit BDM, Kingly, at JDog2656, Union Eye, Marisol Boyd, Funny Dude, Athenzi Shear, Magic, Sino King, Shish King, Aswin Hedi Placetia, and JMB KD. Then, let's give thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Red Zoen, Karina Hernandez, Kevin Encarnacion, Lil Kodo, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier member, Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members, J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Walking Minos, and Ernesto 430.